Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm racing on this is Saturday morning in the UK, and I've had a really tough crit race yesterday where I broke my FTP record. Proud to say it's 276 now and climbing. So it's Saturday, and I felt really up for another race, to be honest, ridiculously. I didn't want to do the Zwift game stage 4 because I've already done that. So something a little bit different today, and it's the Dirt Dadurday chase race, easy for me to say. Now, I've opted for category C. However, before you say, "Oh, that's quite low," category C for this race is 400 to 600 ZRS, and there's a significant number of the 38 riders in this category that are well over 500. So this isn't a typical what you'd expect at C category, and you'll see in a minute. And it was quite surprising just to see the power of these riders. And they're a fantastic group of riders. I assume from how they were working together that there's quite a number of this group that do this chase race and this style of racing. So it's something new for me. I've got to say, guilty from the start. I didn't do enough pulling today. Fantastic. I'm going to say a big mention for Moller, the Dane, on the front here, who absolutely gives it all and pulls this group along and is absolute hero in this race. I was just struggling to stay in the group, so apologies up front if I wasn't doing my turn on the front. As you might have seen from my video yesterday, I was attacking hard for 25 minutes to get my FTP. So a day later, the legs were not. I was not going to be on the front of this. I was lucky to stay in, which again sounds strange. You know, I'm a pace B rider, and this category is C, but it's very, very strong. So top right, you've got the Beach Island Loop. We're doing 3 laps. We've got a good group here of 38 riders in C. If you haven't done a chase race before, there's, in this race, there's categories A, B, C, and D. I think there's probably 10 plus A riders, and they start with 3-minute intervals separating them. So we are now chasing down the D riders who had a 3-minute start. The course is 3 laps, and I think it's 24.9 miles approximately. The elevation isn't huge. There's no real peaks. I think it's about 450, perhaps a bit more, 450 feet. It's just under 25 miles, just under 500 feet. There's a power up on each lap, and I think there's a 33% chance you get the feather, the draft, or the aero helmet. So let's fast forward this. Look at the average on the left, roughly 240. However, you know, this is 25 miles. Just listening to some of the comments, reckon we're going to do perhaps under an hour, perhaps quicker than that. Yeah, and it's very interesting. A lot of these riders are on Discord and chatting together. I just feel a bit of an outsider here, a bit of an imposter. But I just want to learn. I've done one of these chase races before, so I'm not. It's not my debut on a chase race, but I'd forgotten how tough they are, and I'm not even off the front. Rider off the front there, pulling along, using the aero, and then the group catches up. I'm expecting to do perhaps 250 average, about just under 3.5 watts a kilo to give you an idea. It's very interesting as well because there's some of the riders are indicating they've obviously information on where the D group are and the B group and A group behind. And these chase races are set up so that I guess it's a pretty close finish. We'll catch the D's and B's will catch our group, perhaps with just under 5 miles to go, 3 miles to go perhaps. Bit of a climb on here coming up. So you can see one rider's really pulling, that Canadian rider, but nobody else can keep up. And I was feeling that as well. See, I've got an arrow there. I'll just pull to the front here. German rider there. Moller's 12 seconds ahead. Just look at that on the top. Can you see the blue dot right up there? He's chasing down that D rider. So the yellow dots are the D rider, the yellow shirts. We're in blue shirts. B will be green and I think A red. But Moller is flying. And nobody in the group can keep up with Moller. I don't know what his ZRS is or status, but come on. I mean, this is what I'm saying about we're in a C group here. This doesn't feel C. This feels medium to top B, I've got to say. You see some of the comments. It's not just me, which is good because I'm feeling pretty fit. The legs are a bit jelly-like, but energy-wise, heart-wise, I'm feeling pretty good. So the aim, what's my objective? Moller's still 12 seconds ahead. Nobody's catching him. The objective for this race today was I was actually trying to come on this and enjoy this race, but it's going to be a tough one and it's a long one. Coming to the end of the first lap here. First place in the C group is miles ahead, and I guess who's going to respond to Moller? There you go. I just haven't got the legs today. Absolutely haven't got the legs. My objective today, well, it's going to count towards ZRS. I think I'm 527 now. I'd like to keep pushing a positive on the ZRS, which would mean top 20. Top 10 finish would be fantastic in this 400 to 600 category with some strong B riders. I'd be delighted to finish in the top 10. It's a flat sprint finish as well, which worries me. But I think I can come along for most of this. We've dropped a couple of C riders there. Somebody's gone on the chase. Who's gone off there? I can't see on the right-hand side who's chasing Moller down. There's this little, the Spanish rider Tocal. Little bit of a bump here, but it's not a problem. Everyone's using the feather. Very prudent to use it there. It is a pretty flat course. It's, 3 laps, 150 feet per lap. That's not taxing. The problem is, though, we are going at some pace for some distance, so any of the bumps, they do feel, they feel quite taxing. Past a D rider there, you see the yellow jersey. And there's some D riders up ahead, so we want to pile through those D riders. I think that's what happened last time. Tocal 4 seconds, and I think Muller's. I want to hang on with the group. Wish I could push, not feeling it. Yeah, that's pretty much where I am. Muller's gone through those D riders like they weren't there. I don't know how many. Great effort, Moller. Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, I want to keep mentioning that rider. Outstanding. Different class to me. I couldn't be pushing that. Here we go. So the D riders. Now, when we come through, they will try and hang on as we would with the Bs. Oh, there's only a few there. There's a little group. of 4 riders. We need to push through those. They'll try and hang on and stay as long as possible. Let's see what happens. See, some have gone to the back, but there's a couple, I think, can you see on the top right, that are mixing it in the C blob. And a big respect to any of those D riders. We've dropped some of the D riders, you can see, probably 4 or 5 there, but there's some still in the C blob, so big respect if they're hanging on. Now that's what we need to do when the B riders come through. It won't be on this lap, it'll be on the final lap. So it's quite tactical. Is that Moller still ahead? I can't see because I'm 12th and it doesn't have enough. Here we go. No, I can't quite see that. I need to be at the front of the pack. So 245 average on the left. I'm in 15th. Done 9.4 miles, 202 feet, 14.4 miles to go, just over 22 minutes done. Let's try and do 3.5, 4 kilo on the hills. I think we need to be doing 5, because otherwise those B riders will be... Now can you see the B rider? Oh no, they're still the D behind on the graphic. Push on the flats. Well, still think we need to be doing 5 on the 5 to 5.5, I think, and pushing on the flats. It's just a big push, this. Let's have a look. Who's out there? Is Moller still out there? On his own, in the wind. Smashing this course. Canadian there. It's not quite on 1 or 2. Moller there. No, it's not Moller. Who is it? Torsal, so the Spanish rider. Fantastic, blimey. Brilliant. Torsal. Unbelievable push. So we're at the halfway point now. Still pulling. Still difficult. Let's just speed this up, get to the top of this bit of a climb. On the descent. Less than 3 miles of the second lap. Much of a muchness, I've got to say. We're approaching some D riders. Can you see top right? This will be the main D group. You see the top of the hill here. So we've dropped the other D riders, but this is the front D group. Not sure how many. Let's have a see. But again, the same thing applies. We need to pile through. This is a big group, actually. There may be 20 riders here. Perhaps more. Look at that. I need to check how many riders there. Now, bearing in mind we've made all that effort to catch them, and this will be the same for the Bs and the As. You've got to pile through at this point. Otherwise, they can just hang on. I think there's 20 riders there. Yeah, so we're pulling through. So this is the norm. Pull right through the D group. But then they'll try and hold on. So put a bit of a push here. So we're at the front of that group. But they'll be holding on, I've no doubt. So right, are we right at the front of the C's here? Have we got Tocal? Gomez is there, the Spaniard. I think there's no C's ahead. Where's Tocal gone? Oh, it's all confusing, this. Look at the D's now. They've come to the front of the group. Perhaps 10 of them there. Fantastic. Respect. You know, it's up to us to drop these D riders. It's not for them to just back off. We need to go through. That's the responsibility of the C riders, and that will be exactly the same for when the Bs come through. So it does get interesting when the Bs come through, because the I'm not trying to complicate this, but there will be C's, B's, and potentially A's coming through. Top right, some of the D's have gone. Obviously, we'll be dropping some of the D's, but I think there's quite a few still in our front group. It will be very interesting. Third lap, 7.8 to go. I suspect we might get to 5 miles. Nobody's mentioned where the B group are, or 36 seconds behind. There's a comment. Big group is nice, but it encourages a bit of complacency, the big blobs. Someone's gone off there. Use the feather, gone off. I'm going to have to put a bit of power in here. 6 kilos. What's a kilo? 5.5 to 6. Just under 5 now. 5.5. Get to the top of this climb. Looking pretty good, and I was feeling pretty good. Amazingly, after yesterday's huge effort I did. Oh, there's a D rider up front. That's very interesting. So look at the graphic. There's a D rider, a yellow blob, ahead of us, probably 10 seconds, I reckon. Obviously, this group are going to chase that rider down, but phenomenal ride. Yeah, I don't think there's any. Where's Moller? Any C riders up top? We're chasing down. Look at the D riders there. Fantastic effort. Use the draft. I'm looking absolutely knackered now. 650 calories almost done. Pushing nearly 90 RPM, which is typical. Almost 17 miles done. Still over 7 miles to go. This is the issue, these 25 milers. Pushing to get to the front there. We're going to chase that D rider down here. Can't get dropped by these 3 riders. So you got Moller, the Canadian, and Dimitri, the American. I'm holding my own here. But as I said, I had no chance of pulling the group from the front. I'm barely holding on in this front group. D rider coming through. Unbelievable. Really competitive. I've got to say, I really enjoyed this. I'll definitely do these dirt chase races again. Definitely. You know, it just gives a bit of variation. You've got your Zwift games, climbing, pure race, the best of the best, racing in that in your cat. Very tough. But you know, 1,000 feet, less than 15 miles usually. I'm going to say stage 5 is not going to be that. It's going to be 2,000 feet approximately, just over 20 miles. This is a good practice for that. For that stage actually. God, a few tongue twisters. Can we escape from A today? That's a good question. You still can't see the greens, which is the B group. They're still not in visibility. Let's fast forward this. I think, where do I fast forward this? Perhaps to the last 3 miles. I reckon the B's are there. Look, you see the greens? Top graphic. Here they come. What a mixture. So we've got C's, D's, B's. There's no reds behind them. So there's no A's. To be fair, they've had quite a distance to catch up. Look at the group here. The B's have come right through there in the green. I can't let them go. Be strong on this hill. 7 watts a kilo I've just put out there. 7.5 watts a kilo I've put out. I've had to, and they're still pushing through. The greens will be thinking exactly like we did earlier. They need to push right through the blues. I want to try and hold on here. Stay in this. I'm really struggling here. 760 calories. A's, let's finish as a team. Yeah, they're not going to catch the B's and C's today, unfortunately, for them. Look at the train on this. I need to be at the closer to the front. There we go. Just a bit of an effort there. I need to be with the front Bs. That's the objective. I mean, they're 600 to 800 ZRS. You know, this, I'm really proud of keeping with these. Obviously, they are, if we finish 55 minutes, they're going to be finishing, they'll have elapsed 52 minutes. So they've obviously beat us on overall time. But it'd be great for me to hold on for this 3.3 miles and not get dropped by the 600 to 800 class. Right in a bubble here. That suits me, probably suits everyone. 3.2 miles to go, 48 minutes. We're going to definitely beat an hour here, 440 feet. So, yeah, there is only one miniature climb. Here's a 1 minute back. So they're not going to get that in 3 minutes, are they? In 3 miles. Not when we're going like this. Because we're in a big group here. And I don't think there's that many A's racing. Standing up there just to get to the front. Muller at the front leading. Yeah, absolutely. Massive group here. Manning, yeah, correct. Which will help, and that's why the A's won't catch. Can't see if there's any. Yeah, there are some D's just behind me looking at the blob above, so they're holding on. Magnificent. 2.6 miles to go, just under 50 minutes. Cruising at 26 miles an hour. Cruising, I'm doing 290. So 300 there in the draft. Thanks everyone, yeah. Bees are quickening up the pace. I've not been able to speak today because of these two races over the weekend. I'm in the front group here. I can't believe I've held on for so long. The group, the train is splitting. So we come to this passage part and there's a climb at the end of this. I just need to hold into this group. 810 calories done, 250 average, which in Zwift Racing I'm a lot above that, but again, much shorter distance. 2 miles to go. See the D there, look at the D. Unbelievable, well done. Try and give him a shout out, I don't want to say the wrong name there. So sorry about that. Right at the front here, good. .8 miles to go. You better believe they're going to quicken the pace up here. 288 just staying in the draft. Well positioned here. Remember these greens, the Bs, they've done 3 minutes less to get to this distance than we have, approximately, because they started 3 minutes later in the staggered start at the pens. Not so sure where the A's are. Can't quite see it on the graphic. Yeah, big blob, B, C and D. I've really enjoyed this, I've got to say. The B's going off there. Oh, that's not good. Not good. Putting the power down. Blimey. 313. 330 in a big blob and I'm struggling. Is that Muller going off, chasing? Yeah, flipping it, strong. It's splitting now, look. There's a green gone off, Muller's gone on the chase, unbelievable. Super respect. If you watch this video, super respect. And then there's a big group, still a D in there, right in the middle. Couldn't be drafting any better than that D rider. Fantastic racecraft. He should be in this C group, I tell you. Right, we do this climb. What am I going to have to put in? It's going to be another 7.5 kilos. 0.9 of a mile to go. Come on, get up. I hope I don't get dropped here or completely dropped. 6.5, going to have to do more than that. 6.5, what's a kilo? Less than 6, 6.2, sit down, right. 0.8, what a train now. Oh, rubbish, they're going away from me here. There you go, I can't, come on, get into that group in the front. Don't get dropped. Struggling here. Can't put the power down when I get to, oh, there's a bee just been dropped there. Too much. Stood up here, just holding, 0.6 of a mile to go. There's a little bump up here. Look at the train on the top right. Basically, this train has spread right out, passing a bee rider there. But it's probably, oh, there's 14. I guess if I'm 15th, I'm 15th in my group of C riders. I'm guessing. Yeah, look, we've dropped a lot, including the D rider. Well done though for keeping up. There's definitely this front group. There's 2 greens gone off, and we're being dropped from that main group. 14th in my category out of 39. I need to put an effort, 0.2 of a mile. 14th, can I get, I have to put a strong finish here. Come on, push through, that's it. 16th gear, push. 13th, 12th, come on, push, past another B rider, past another C rider, but there's 2 coming up, and they're just taking me on the line. I will take 10th all day. I'll take 10th all day. So Moller, Bezier, Elton, Jarrett, Torcal, and the other 3 that beat me, and Dimitri, fantastic. I'm happy with where I finished there. Really enjoyed that ride. Thank you to all that group who pulled me right through it. ZRS up 4 to 5:30 bonus. If you enjoyed that, like and subscribe. I will see you Zwift Racing Stage 5. Thank you.